everyone, it's Brittany from Rebel Lux. Today I'm going to be walking you through the setup for my 2016 Gold Dokibook A5 planner. Now this is my blogging and business planner, so it's a little bit different than a daily planner. You won't see some of the same things, but I'll go over that as we get into it. Here on the left you can see just a couple of little paper clips that I decorated with washi tape. These were from a tutorial from the Reset Girl. I'll link to that below. My aesthetic for this whole planner is to kind of stick with gold, black, and white. I really wanted things to look sort of branded and matched. So you'll see a lot of that and not much in the way of other decorating. These guys, I've got these little laminated cards. This one came from a stack of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper that I got at Michael's. This shiny gold foiled stuff, so fabulous. This one in particular you can see was part of this sheet that's a bunch of smaller ones that I cut up all into these little cards like this. You can see all of these. I haven't really found a use for these yet. These are super cute, but I don't know what I'm going to do with them. But these ones in particular, I laminated these because then I can write on them with a dry erase marker and it wipes right off with a bit of Windex, so it's almost like reusable sticky notes, which is kind of cool. And then these two here came from a stack of scrapbook paper that I got at Ross for about $3. It was these 36 sheets here. They're super pretty. I really like them. Lots of different patterns here. You can see, I love these glasses. They're so cute. So they don't really match the aesthetic of the planner, and I don't really know what I'm doing with them yet, but they're cute. I like the sentiment, especially on this one, so they're in my planner until I figure out what I'm going to do with them. And then this guy over here, this one really is the sentiment for this whole planner. This is my business and blogging planner. The blogging is really just an extension of my business. But business takes a crazy amount of time and effort to grow. So yeah, the best is yet to come, but only if you do the work to make the best happen. So this is the planner where all of that work goes down on paper. So to start with, I just have this little dashboard. I made it out of an old greeting card. I'll link to the tutorial for that down below. It's very plain, just a couple of sticky tags. I'm still on the lookout for some nice notes to use in this planner, but it's not really a priority for me. I don't find out that I use them all that much in this planner. It's not a daily planner where I have to write down commitments, so I don't have a strong need for little notes to myself in this book. This is a nice little pocket that I made from this double-sided scrapbook paper. This one I got on Amazon for I think about $12. These are really nice, just very floral and kind of Victorian looking, which I love. It's totally my thing. If you don't have Amazon Prime, I understand that it's not in the budget for everybody, but really $100 for the entire year, I cannot recommend it more. Like, I've saved so much more than $100 on gas because I don't have to run around to a million shops to find what I need, and you know, free shipping on everything, so it's saved me so much money there. And frankly, I don't really do so well with big crowds of people, especially around the holidays. I'm a little bit socially phobic sometimes, so for me it's a really big boon to not have to go to a physical store. I love Amazon Prime so much. It's fantastic. But to get back to the subject at hand, in the little pocket here I've got these stickers that came with the Dokibook planner. I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with these, if anything, but I'm keeping them here just in case I need them. I don't plan to do a whole lot of decorating in this planner because this one is focused on business. It's not for personal use, so it doesn't have to be super fancy, but it would be nice to have some gold star stickers or something to celebrate when I reach milestones, and so those will be kept in here if I get my hands on them. After this comes the first of my dividers. You'll see that I made these from that same stack of gold foiled cardstock that came from Michael's, same as the little cards that I showed you earlier. I did laminate them to give them some extra toughness because you can see when I close the book here, they do stick out from the edges just a little bit, and I didn't want them to get banged up because of that. So I laminated them. You will notice that I don't have labels on these dividers to say what each section is. I honestly don't find that I need it. There are only 5 tabs here. They're all obviously unique in terms of pattern and placement. I already know what's in each section here, and since I'm the only one who's going to see inside these things, besides you lovely folks, obviously, as long as it works for me, that's what's important. I don't feel any particular need to do things in my planner just because they're fashionable or typical. Planning really, to me, should be all about what works for each of us individually. That's what's important about this. So behind this first divider, I have the beginnings of my blog planning guide for 2016, which actually really should say business planning guide, but it didn't fit as nicely here. And really it's about blogging. So if that's what you want to use it for, then it says blog planning guide. This is a place where I can start with my blog purpose and mission statement. What is my blog built on my passion for? What's the message I want to send to my audience? And then most importantly, what makes my blog unique or valuable to readers? And all of these things are really important questions to answer when you're starting a new blog, because if you're struggling to answer any of these, you're probably going to struggle to maintain the blog in the long run. It's also a good idea to refresh these by coming back and re-answering them every year, because your business is going to grow and so are you. And you might find that what you were passionate about last year is totally different from what you're passionate about this year. You want to be able to track that so that you can use it to stay excited about what you're doing. Next, we have sections for identifying the types and frequency of the content that you want to produce, as well as ways, if any, that you want to monetize your blog. For me, this would be things like Amazon affiliate links for products that I review or recommend. But I would never want to do sponsored posts, because then I wouldn't feel like I would be able to be honest with my audience in my opinions about the product, and that would be just terrible to me. But that might be completely different from what you want to do with your blog. So here's where you would write that down. And then we have space to brainstorm ways to grow your audience and reach new people with your content. And then over here, this is the section that's about personal growth. It's about the things that you want to learn this year, or maybe even conferences that you'd like to attend. I had no idea that blogging conferences were even a thing until this summer. You can see here I've already listed one of the things that I want to learn in 2016. This is a free computer program called Blender that creates 3D models. I would like to learn how to use it so that I can create product mock-ups for my clients to show them their logos on final products. Pretty cool, right? But I definitely don't have time to think about that until at least January. And then the last page in this section, I've got a page for social media tracking. This is where I'm going to write down my page views, users, newsletter subscribers, and social media followers every month to see where I'm growing and where I might want to focus on doing a little bit better. This next section is devoted to the actual blog content. I haven't filled this up to a huge degree yet because I've been so focused on getting things stabilized for a solid foundation, but this is my page for where I write down things that I want to blog about, and then I can just check it off right over here when I've written that post and published it. On this page, this is to get a little more in-depth with each of these topics. I take the topic from this page and I put it right here at the top, and then I can think about things like post structure. Is this going to be a list? Is this going to be a video? Is it going to be a review? Why would this be of value to my readers? And this one is really, really important, because if you can't figure out why your readers would be interested in reading this, the chances are good that they can't figure it out either, and they're probably not going to read it. So you want to make sure that you can address this. And then down here is ideas for things that you have to do before you can write this post, or things that you want to make sure you include when you're writing it, that kind of stuff. It's just brainstorming space. And then when you actually post and publish it, the post date goes right there. And that's really it for this section. This is all about content, so I've just got a lot of the same pages in here. These next sections are a different printable that I used. These are all specifically for Etsy shops. I mean, you can use them for any online platform, but I use Etsy, so that's what I named them. And the first of the Etsy sections is for my item listings. I've got space for the item name, the description, the price of it, and if it's a digital file and I've updated like a new version, I have space for what date that update happened. And then this here is the important part. This is the number sold per month. This is where I track every month how many of that item people bought. Excuse me. And this is important because this tells me, one, if I've gone like 6 to 12 months without selling that item, I need to not list it anymore. There's no reason to waste money listing that in my Etsy shop if I'm not going to sell it. But more importantly, it'll tell me which of my products are the most popular. So it'll tell me what's getting the best response from people, and that tells me what kind of content I need to be working on developing in the future. So that's really useful for that section. Next section over here, this one is all about my sales tracking. I'm going to skip a couple pages here actually, because that has personal information on it from people that have bought from me. So I'll show you the blank ones. Etsy sales tracking. Who did I sell it to? How much was their total order? What items did I sell? What's the date that I sold it, and what's the date that it shipped? And that for me is a number that usually gets left blank because all of my files are currently digital files. I don't have any physical things to ship, so I don't use that, but it's there for anybody that wants to use the printout that doesn't happen to need it. So that's all for that section. And then in this back section here, this is all about expenses. Where did I buy it from? What was the total that I spent? What were the items that I purchased? What date was it? And then what category was it? Was it supplies for my business? Was it taxes that I remitted? Was it fees for things like Etsy listings, that sort of thing? And then categories are really useful for when it's tax time and I have to be able to sort things that I'm reporting as a business. Obviously, I do have all of this data also in a Google Docs spreadsheet so that I can sort things by category when it's tax time, because that makes things way easier. But I find that having it written down on the page like this not only gives me a better sense of where my budget is at, but it also keeps me from spending things unnecessarily, because I'm like, well, I'd have to write it down and then I would feel bad about it, and you know how it works. So that is mostly it for this planner. I do have this little section back here. This is another pocket with the double-sided scrapbook paper from Amazon. And this is where I keep the receipts that get reported here in the expense tracking. You can see that it has the potential to get really full really fast if you're a business that makes a lot of purchases. So for what I do is I just fill it up 1 month at a time. And then at the end of the month, I take it, I put a paper clip on it, and it goes in a file folder in my office, just to keep track of everything by date. That makes it much easier for me. So that's that. After this, it's just the little ruler that came with the Dokibook. I haven't really found a use for this. I prefer metal rulers, but it's cute and it's in there. This is just a pocket folder. This is currently full of stickers that I made for a plan with me that I'll be doing for my other planner for next week. These are all gold and black Art Deco kind of things, so I'm excited about that one. And then just this paper mover, and the last thing is the notepad that came from the dollar section at Michael's. So super easy, lots of paper. It's really sad that this is actually the biggest thing in my planner right now, but again, this is my planner for 2016, so it'll be a lot more full by the end of next year, let me tell you. That's basically it for what I've got here. Let me know down in the comments if you've got any questions for this, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you for joining me.